Make some noise for your host, Kid Copious.
What up, perps? Kid Copious back in the bunker. Happy 2021. So glad we're not going to have to write out the whole date. Man, the time that's going to save me on forms. Yeah, that's about it. So let's get this thing kicked off. There we go. That's one. And an extra one for the new year. There you go. Now, you know what? I didn't hit the camera. So I'm going one more. Why not? It's been a shitty year. Let's celebrate it in style. So that's what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to go through the best of the worst year ever. So, just started off with a little memoriam. We lost Sean Connery, who was, one of my favorite actors. James Bond, of course. That's all you need to know him for. He was the first and the last as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't know. Roger Moore. I guess his films were okay. I mean, we'll strike that part. He was the first. So, what I wanted to do tonight was kind of go through, some of my favorite things from the year, ending with a top 21 of the memes and cartoons that we saw. So, hey, let's kick it off. I'm going to start off with this, my favorite photo right here that I took. Or, well, I didn't take it, but, something that I took, did not create. God, I'm horrible at explaining things. Well, we're going to roll with it. This is me meeting Earl Weber, hopefully governor of California. That would be very interesting. That was at a Trump rally. That's me dressed for work. Yay. So, got a few that didn't make the list. Thought we'd put them in some categories and go through them. So here's two of my favorite. Joe Biden's losing his mind. Happy 4th of July. Biden for president. There he is, right there. Yeah, but he's right. Well, he's right. Yeah, whoever knows, man. I don't even care anymore. This is funny to me. So, Purple State want to be balanced. So I want to bring you a couple of my favorite anti-Trump memes. Of course, the orange skins. That was... That's a great one. Man, that's awesome. I want that I should get that as a banner for my background. I love this one. I'm not going to read it out loud, but yeah, you can see it right there for yourself. Oh, that was... that is funny. This is my favorite one. I mean, somebody made him out of Legos. I like that. Sometimes it's hard to let go. Oh, man. It's hardly a joking issue, but when it's summed up like that, all you can do is laugh. I'm getting a lot of fog tonight. So, our next little category here is batshit crazy women. It was going to be just batshit crazy people, but it boiled down to three or four women here. So, up first we have our vice president with an asterisk, aka the token, Kamala Harris, doing her imitation of the Joker. I think we all know she's crazy. I think she's smoking some weed, drinking some wine, and probably doing whippets before her conferences where she becomes the condescending teacher. And of course, who can forget the Koya Food Salesperson of the Year, AOC? I mean, she defines batshit, I think. She's crazy, she's loud, and she's pissed off people on both sides of the fence. And as somebody in the middle, you'd think I'd like that, but she's pissed them off for all the wrong reasons. That's my personal take. And then this lady, I'm sure she jerks off with a lightsaber. But anyhow, oh, this is a bunch of fuckers. That's funny. I really don't have much more to say to that. But really, at the end of the day, the winner of just batshit craziness is Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Under no circumstance will I allow Donald Trump's troops to come to Chicago and terrorize our residents. I mean, I think she's the only mayor whose city had More people die of lead poisoning than of COVID. Um, this woman just could not get out of her own way. And she's the mayor of a city. I just don't understand how people elect these people. I don't get it. I mean, whatever. Whatever. Anyhow, moving right along, we're going to move into our man of the year. I think you already know who that's going to be right there. Um, his reaction to Ginsburg's death was sort of epitomized the best that Trump could be. You know, he spoke from the heart, and he didn't speak with political leanings. You know, he acknowledged her for her greatness. Unfortunately, he was taken down by his bad side, which was to not compromise, not try anything really in the middle, and just poke, poke, poke. And I think that's sort of what did him in a little bit. You know, of course, there's other forces that really got the job done, but he didn't help very much. So, I'm going to go with our next category, which, after man of the year, we got to go with woman of the year, because, that's how we do things here. This is fair, This is woke before it was even a fucking word. But anyhow, new Supreme Court justice, people are going to argue about it, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care. Shows up. She didn't need no notes, but she had a note right there for our vice president with an asterisk. I didn't sleep with anyone to become district attorney like you did. Of all the ones I saw that referenced her blank notepad, that was the best one. So, But she did not win. Kristi Noem, governor, pretty outspoken, hosted a huge rally. Kind of known for trying to keep things open, not deny people liberties in the face of adversity. And, of course, the First Lady, who, was shunned by the press, basically. Didn't get any cover shots. Yeah, it's just remarkable how biased the media is. But ultimately, it was Kristi Noem, who I think was the woman of the year. Right here. I didn't even define what non-essential business was. I don't have a right to tell you your business isn't essential. Look, I live in California. We had a very restrictive lockdown. It didn't do anything. People got crushed. Industries got crushed. There were some people on the side there that made a lot of money. Recently I heard plastic surgery had a huge boom. It really speaks to our culture, doesn't it? That plastic surgeons and Walmart made out like bandits. But you know who else made out bandits? The evil Bond villain, Bezos. So this is my attempt to sum up 2020 in a picture. Somebody posted this, and I thought, of all the things that we've seen and gone through, especially here in California, this is the one that really just sums up what a dumb year it was. I'm confused. We can't eat inside, but we can eat inside as long as the inside is outside. Got it? This is not an exaggeration. I saw this all over the place. Outdoor tents set up like that. And, it really speaks to the lack of science, lack of direction, lack of common sense that was employed, especially in places like California, where everything was just arbitrary, it didn't work, and it was just stupid. I mean, it was absolutely stupid. We saw it time and time again, even from our politicians. People like Newsom going to a fancy dinner. We saw other mayors and governors taking vacations and telling us to stay home, going to Thanksgiving dinner with their elderly parents, just really weird stuff going on. And, we saw a governor in New York who sent sick elderly patients back to nursing homes, and then accused Trump of being the big problem. It's going to be funny. That's one thing I'm looking forward to in 2021. They ain't going to have Trump to blame. So who are they going to blame? Oh, it's going to be magnificent. It's going to be like a snake eating its tail. So here's my favorite creation of the year that I created that I was proud of. You know, my pseudo comic book Creepy Joe and the Token Destroy America featuring mainstream media mutt. I liked it. I was proud of it. And yeah, so I decided to include it. Then I got to pat myself on the back a little bit, right? So this is the moment you've all been waiting for. We are going to count down the top 21 memes that I came across. Pictures, cartoons, whatever you want to call them. So here's, number 21. In reaction to Biden breaking his foot while walking his dog, they show the neighborhood kids just pounding on him and the dog's on top. I like that one. That's funny. Number 2, we got the return of this dude. The coronavirus vaccine is going to eliminate the coronavirus. Just like the flu vaccine eliminated the flu. Yeah, some words of wisdom there. It's nice when people bring back old memes. Bronco, who was definitely my favorite artist of the year, summed it up right there. Person of the year from Time Magazine, the bunker that Biden hidden. Never spoke, never put anything down, as far as a platform, and just relied on lazy, unenthusiastic voters to bail him out. Whatever tricks were pulled, it worked. Give him credit. They had a plan to steal the election, and somehow they managed to, and they did. This never would have happened without mail-in ballots. They talk about no widespread fraud that they can see of. Well, why don't you take each one of those mailed-in ballots and actually make sure that that person voted? That's a monumental effort, and they knew it. But this guy is the weakest, least progressive president we've ever had. This is just going to be a shit show. It is going to be so conflicting. It's like the TV show that tries to appease everybody and fails to appease anybody. That's what's going to happen. Nobody's going to like this. They're not going to like it. People are going to realize their mistake. Another Bronco coming in here at number 19. Defund the police, easy for you to say. And, that just speaks right to the heart of the stupidity that we saw out of the demands and the riots and things like that, where, people who lived in nice, safe communities were dictating how the unsafe community should be policed or run. Say no to school choice. I mean, just because you live in an area with a great school, it makes it really easy for you. You don't ever walk a mile in anybody else's shoes. All right, number 17 here. 2016, Russia interfered with the election. 2020, how dare you question the integrity of the election? And just rampant hypocrisy. I mean, it's ridiculous. If this is the way our country is going to be run, man, we're in trouble. Just hypocrisy after hypocrisy. Coming in at a solid 16 here, the Chicago Police Department has replaced all sirens with the national anthem to force suspects to stop running and take a knee. Oh, man. That's jokes right there. Jokes and jokes and jokes. And not wouldn't work in real life. Here you go. Number 15. I love this one. Somebody put a lot of time into this, and making fun of Trump when he signed, I believe, a treaty at a tiny little desk. Okay, whatever. But this is good. The play school, my first presidency set. I mean, they even put in the Spanish in places. That's a work of art, and it deserved to make the list. Number 14, 2020, the year that we learned that a riot was a mostly peaceful protest. Mostly floating ship, mostly flying airplane, and a mostly unbiased news reporting. Mostly peaceful, that certainly could be put on a shirt for 2020. I don't always get called a racist, but when I do, I've just won an argument with a leftist. Another thing that really came into the spotlight in 2020 was that's the way it was going to be. If they disagree, they're just going to label you something abhorrent, and then it's a diversion. That's what they do. They deflect, and their biggest deflect is calling you a racist. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I know what's in my heart. So say what you want. It makes it really hard to get your point across, though. So, kudos on figuring out how to kill a conversation. So, number 12 here. So you're voting for Biden. Tell me why without mentioning Trump. Again, going back to that common theme of what's about to happen. Who are you going to blame? Who? You can't blame Trump. Who are you going to blame? Who are you going to blame for the COVID? You still going to just continue on with that little mantra? Nah. All right, whatever. Number 11. 11. Girl asks progressive Santa for Barbie, gets lectured on harmful gender stereotypes. Oh, man. That's the world we live in now. Not enough people stood up to the woke. They know that they've got power now, and they're going to do all this stupid shit. We just saw it recently now in Congress or in the House or both. I don't know. But, they want to remove words like husband and son and sister and mother and gender specific. There ain't nothing wrong with that. They're words. They describe something. A father is a male parent. A mother is a female parent. I don't really understand why that needs to be stricken from the records. But, apparently that's what will save the world. Who knew? Who knew it'd be just so easy as to remove the word brother and sister and all of our problems. Everybody will kumbaya, my lord, yeah, kumbaya. It's just stupid. If it really worked, that would be one thing. But it's the dumbest thing ever. And it's just an example of how they do dumb things and then list them as accomplishments. Well, we did this. We removed certain pronouns because we couldn't think of anything real to do. So, here comes our top 10. Number 10 on the list, Christmas Vacation making a stop after the latest budget was released. A donation of $700 million has been made to Sudan in your name. That budget, at a time like this, it's really hard to turn over, $700 million to a place that most people wouldn't even be able to pick out on a map, and let alone understand why we're sending them money. I don't understand most of the budget this year. Why on God's green earth we're bailing out other countries when we have Americans that need to be bailed out more. I just don't get it. I don't understand why they're plowing ahead with this foreign aid crap. The countries that don't give two shits about us. Number 9, Jim from The Office. Beating, harassing, chasing, and heckling people you disagree with in the streets doesn't make you anti-fascist. It makes you a fascist. Look it up. Look up Hitler's rise to power. He did the same thing. Eradicating history, labeling certain people to be better or worse than other people, setting his goons out to beat up people who disagreed or had a differing opinion. That's what happened. That's what the fascists did. That's what they did in Spain, and that's what they did in Italy. That's what they did. Those same tactics. That looting, that threatening, that canceling. This fascist behavior. It just is. There's not really even a debate. It is fascist behavior. To call yourself anti-fascist is, well, that's fascist. That's, do you think Hitler and his brown shirts, the SS, you think they went around saying, hi, we're the baddies? No, they said we're the good guys. A lot of countries they went into, they were viewed as liberators. Yeah, that's true history. That has happened, which means it can happen. But anyhow, I digress. Back to the list, number 8. I love this one. This is the the Jews fleeing Egypt, parting the Red Sea, and they're gone. And Gavin Newsom points, come back. I need to raise your taxes. So true. That's why political cartoons are still a thing. That's why memes in politics are so important, because they can make you laugh, but they can really put a fine point on something. And a lot of these top memes, that's why they're here, is because they put that fine point right on it. You know, come back. I need to raise your taxes, because people are leaving California. Companies are leaving. Elon Musk pulled Tesla out. You know, some companies that have been here, that started here, have been here for a while, they've left. They are going other places. And people, you know, say, oh, it's no big deal. They'll be replaced. But that's not a trend that's going to continue forever. Eventually, people are going to start farming new think tank hubs. And it's happening. Places like Nashville, you know, places like Austin. Unfortunately, they're probably going to go just as left of center as here. But, you know, eventually we will see that the Democrat plan is to raise taxes and jerk people around and not really do anything. They don't. We don't get a lot here in California, you know. You know, all I could say, we don't even see a lot of our federal taxes, but I don't see things being done. I don't see things improving. I see things worsening. Well, whatever. Again, going back to the recently released budget, what Congress gave the rest of the world, you know, steak and lobster, what they gave Americans. And again, those are delicious, so I don't like, but again, perfect example of a good political meme. Just boom, boom. There's the point. And it is. I mean, the rest of the world did get a lot of money spent on it. Yes, they spent a lot of money on Americans too, but this was not the year to give them the steak and lobster. We deserve the steak and lobster. Number 6. This was one of my favorites, man. I love this one. We had a wildfire here that started because somebody used an explosive device during a gender reveal, and day after that came out, this came out. America's be like is a boy. Oh man, that's so damn true. I mean, we can be knuckleheads, but I mean, there are knuckleheads everywhere around. I mean, every country has them, you know. I mean, come on. It's just, we have a lot of people, and we have Florida. So, some crazy shit's gonna happen. Oh, man. All right, so number 4 here. This was a lefty one at the time. Help me mail in ballot. You're my only hope. First of all, Star Wars reference. Working R2D2 as a postbox. That's great. But what's funny is you could replace Statue of Liberty with the donkey, and it'd be the same thing, because, you know. But person like this, you know, the lefty artist here and the lefty account. A girl has new president. Oh, okay. You know, you just went back with the status quo of 4 years ago. You know, that's all you did. You didn't advance our culture at all. You think that the whole token idea counts, but that doesn't add up to a hill of beans. It doesn't matter. Wow. Okay. So she's in as the vice president. Wow. Joe Biden does not equal the Statue of Liberty, other than the fact that it is going to welcome in a whole lot of immigration, because that is their plan. You know, they want to bring in the rich people from overseas to replace the rich people who move out of their cities. You know, I mean, California, the area I live in, I would be completely different if it had not been for all the immigrants who came over and bought the wildly expensive houses that we have here. You know, and celebrities and other people who are technically going to lean left. You know, that's what they want. So I do find it kind of funny that, Lady Liberty thinks that Biden's going to be the hope. Oh, okay. Anyhow, I just love that one, though. It's so good. Help me mail in ballot. So, number 3. It goes back to the mostly peaceful. CNN existed in 1941. Japanese flyover is mostly peaceful. And that reminds me of one of my favorite stories of the year. It was the Carpe Donktum video that caused all the controversy. Oh, that one was awesome. I wanted to put that on there, but, I don't want copyrights, and I don't want to insult anybody by using their work like that. It's one thing to post a picture, but something like a video, it's a different story. But anyhow, number 2, or is this number 3? I can't read shit right now. This is number 5. My numbers are totally off, but that's what happens when you freestyle everything on your video. Elizabeth Warren. Whenever I did, my daddy believed in me. He'd say, "That's my Betsy." Then the reply, "Great picture of you two." Because she's trash. Get it? Oh, man. All right. That was 3. All right, your boy's losing it now, man. Portland politicians letting rioters destroy their city for 52 days. Why would Trump do this? Oh, man, it's so permanent because they're not going to have that anymore. They're going to have to take responsibility for their own shit. Oh, man. And that brings us to the number 1. I went through all my stuff, and this is the one. Oh, boy, I'm losing it. This is the one that I thought really summed up the year, summed up what a good political meme could be about. Here it is. When you disagree with a Democrat, they've got the color chart. You're a white supremacist. If you're down on the bottom, you're an Uncle Tom. Quite simple. Look at their playbook. Look at their playbook. I mean, you got to give it to them. They've got a sneaky little playbook there. And not really sure how we break it. But I think at some point people are going to realize that that's all it is just fluff. But there you go. Peter Griffin, top spot. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. But anyhow, that brings the conclusion of, probably one of my least smooth videos. I'll give you guys that. It's hard when I'm trying to just follow along. Not one of my strong suits, I guess, But anyhow, 2021, it's not a miracle year. It's not going to, life is not going back to normal anytime soon. People who really crave power are going to continue to flex their power. They're going to continue to blame others and get nothing done. And the only things that will get done are the things that aren't good. People, they went ahead with the defund the police. I mean, they can't solve the homeless problem. They can't solve the starving children problem. They can't solve what the hell we're going to do about COVID. They can't fix the goddamn roads. But they can defund the police. They're very good. You notice that? They're very good at taking money. So, we got the recall Newsom. If you haven't signed that petition here in California, I urge you to do it. The guy's a jackass, and we need to make a statement. We need to be done with these jackasses. We have to be. That's the only way we're going to have a new year worth celebrating. But like 2020, Copious out.